What's up? Oh man, tired. All right, so basically, I haven't fought since 2018. I know a few of my friends who followed my as fight career, or just what I've been doing in martial arts, karate, and MMA, kickboxing. They've been asking me like why not? What happened? I guess I'll kind of give you guys like a rundown of basically how that year went for me, and why I haven't fought since then. So I'm living in Oklahoma. I see a gym across the street from the club that I worked at starting to pop up, and I see a coach in there. I was already training under Conan and Kyokushin and Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. See this coach working on building something, and I'm like, I see mats in there, I see fighting on the screen, and I'm like, yo, he's about to put a gym in right across the street from the club I work at. So of course I'm thinking to myself like, yo, I have got to go over there and talk to this guy, introduce myself, because maybe I could get in on the bottom, on the ground floor of whatever the heck's going on over here. Maybe I could teach classes. I didn't really want to work in the clubs anymore. So I was just like, well, let me figure out, what can I do? How can I, be a part of this? And I go over there and introduce myself. And the coach's name is James White. Immediately, like getting in the gym and just talking to him, I could see this man is all business. I mean, he likes to, if you know James, or Coach, I should say, if you know Coach, you know that he knows how to play, he knows how to have fun, he knows, all that. He'll get out there and just be crazy. But just knowing that this man has given up everything to start a gym. I mean, if I remember right, he worked in the hospital before, or something medical field. Sold it all, down to nothing, no car, no nothing, so he could start a gym just so people like myself could have somewhere to train and possibly go all the way. Now, the crazy thing about that was I have been training Conan's for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years, and I didn't show that much effort over there, and that was my own fault. Conan's a great coach, and learning through him, my hand techniques have gotten so much better. But prior to that, I just never showed really any effort. I felt like, I don't know, I was in a sea of just a ton of fighters and people who wanted to be the next whatever. I'm one of those students that, if there's 30 kids in the class, I won't thrive. But if there's just 5 of us, I'll thrive, because I need that one-on-one. And with such a big gym like that, it was hard to get that. Now I did sometimes get that, but with James, it was a little bit easier. And so it began, basically just training hours after hours after hours, and helping Coach build the gym up, and getting the word out, and doing little promo things. And I don't know, just that whole year was a great year. On top of the fact that myself and my teammate Josh, second degree black belt, we're both getting ready for hopefully the Olympic trials. And so we're just training our butts off that year, and I don't know, it was a lot going on. It was a lot going on. So unfortunately, we don't make it to the Olympic trials, get all the way to state, and then we do this international karate championship thing. I took gold in my division. I don't remember what he got, but can y'all leave? We're trying to do an interview. But yeah, so that's how that went. And then they had open Olympic tryouts for bobsled, I think boxing, and a couple other sports that they needed people in to represent the United States. And I went to that open tryout over there in OKC at the row, what's it called? The rowing place. I don't know where the Olympic rowers go. So yeah, that year was pretty stressful when it comes to fighting, at least for what I was doing. So the reason why I love Coach is because in his eyes, there's no such thing as small. You go big or you go home. When you kick your leg, you're swinging for the fences. You know what I'm saying? You're punching a knockout every time. And Coach tells me, hey, I got a promotion that wants me to have a fighter. And he says, Keith, I'd like you to be that first fighter. You've been here, obviously the longest. And it's a title shot, the belt's empty. And I would, this person, we're gonna get the tape, watch a couple of their fights and see what's going on here. But I'm pretty sure, you've been training. And if you want it, this will be a good fight for you. Come out with a belt, good for the gym and all that. And of course I'm like, woo! I'm like, yo, let's go. Shoot, I got my cousins there with me, Josh, everybody even over at Conan's, just all of my co-workers, everybody was getting pretty excited at this time about me doing something, because man, I have been training for years for that Olympic spot, and I just didn't make it, and I mean, hey, shout out to Brian shout out to Tom Scott, Brian Hillard, a few of these Texas boys, that made it, shout out. But yeah, no, I definitely was super excited. I definitely wanted it to happen for me. I just felt like it was time. It needed to. Oh man, my foot shaking because I just remember how excited I was. I'm like, a title shot is my first MMA fight. I was like, Coach, you sure I'm ready? Coach says, yeah, and we take it. And I think I was about a month and a half. I don't remember how long my camp was. I think I only got like a 5-week camp. Which, like I said, it wasn't, most people get 3 months to train, which I'm pretty sure my opponent did have a full camp. I only had 5 weeks because I had already been training as hard as I was to, for this other thing. And I was just putting my body through hell. Some people remember, training underwater. We're running a lot of weights, a lot of cardio, a lot of sparring, tons. I've never sparred that much in my life, yo. And it was wrestling, jujitsu at his gym, turn around, jujitsu at the other gym, work. I was a bouncer at the time, so I was just getting banged up all the time and having to deal with folk. And it was just so much, yo. My body was just like, ah! I say all that to say, the week of the fight, I was ready to go. I was ready to bang. And so I fought Saturday. That whole week I was taking it easy. I was just trying to do the bare minimum when it came to training, just keeping my body just in shape, keeping myself relaxed, keeping a clear head. Wednesday before the fight, no, my bad, Tuesday before the fight. What is that? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days out. My teammate, I'm not going to say his name. Everybody remembers this. My teammate, we were I think we were working on takedowns and just, you know, putting some pressure on the person, not going too hard, you know, maybe like 10%, especially with me, you know, trying to take care of me since my fight was coming up. And my teammate, he's a big guy. Like I said, everybody that was there remembers. He cocked his hand back and just at the back of my head. And I had never been knocked out at that point in my life, but it went black for a second, and then it was just like, I was like, did you just hit me? And he's just, I think coach eventually like pushed him off of me, and he was yelling at him and stuff, and yeah, that was bad. That was very bad. Very, very bad. But it wasn't as bad as the very next day. We're sparring again, and this time it's even lighter. It's just moving, and you know, I'm just working through drills. Like literally, it's not even sparring. It's just drill work. Just we're practicing the combos and certain techniques, spinning stuff, like coach likes to call it. But I'm working on takedowns and you know being aggressive. And the same guy grabs my arm. Now it was my own fault. I planted my arm on the ground, but he took my arm. And all I can really remember is that with his body weight, and he's a wrestler. I'm not really a wrestler. I was whooping him and striking. But he grabbed, it was my right elbow, but he got a hold of my right elbow, and with his body weight and whatever the heck kind of hold lock he was trying to do, I just felt a quick, and everybody heard that and just kind of turned and was like, what was that? And I was like, I think it was my elbow. And, you know, when things happen at first, you know, you kind of want to just, you know, play it off like, okay, no, it was just a sound. It was just air. But no, probably like a minute or two later, it just, inflammation, it was hurting. I got some CBD in my system ASAP. Just because I was like, man, this is not good. I was freaking out. I didn't go to work that night. I was just at home, just resting, and I was freaking out because I'm like, yo, this is Wednesday. I fight in 3 days. Like, and this man's, he already punched me in the head. Now my arm, and it was just a crazy house that week. Of the fight, man. Coach asked me, he's like, you still want to fight? And I'm like, bro, I'm not going to back out just because, you know, I got hurt a couple times. It's like, I got to fight, you know what I mean? I got to represent the school, at least show up, win or lose, show up. And we get there to the fight. Weigh-in, let's talk about weigh-in. Weigh-in, I embarrassed myself. Normally I walk around at the fight weight, but just, I was having a rough time. There was a lot of stress between me and my mom. My mom was just, there was just a lot of stuff going on at the time, and I should have just not even focused on that, but I would stress eat sometimes, and I came in 1 pound over, and I was like, well, dang, I could take my, you know, my underwear off, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and they were just like, we'll take it. So, he came in at 204. I came in at 206. How sad. That's how we started off this thing. And the day of the fight was crazy because we get there and, you know, I get my hands wrapped. You know, got to get your hands wrapped and get it approved by, you know, the commissioner and stuff. And they said that my nails, which, you know, I don't really keep that long of nails, but they said my nails were too long. And so the commissioner cut this nail. He cut the nail plus the pinky. So he cut off like the tip of my pinky, and it was just bleeding. And he said, use that, use that, use that. And I'm like, are you out your mind, bro? You just, this is how this is? You just blood and guts all the whole time before you even get to the ring? Yeah. I was like, man, this is trash. A moment of truce. Fight before me's up. I hear a bunch of yelling and screaming. I guess one guy was doing some cool stuff. What I did not do was warm up before walking out. That's my own bad. I walked out cold. I should have walked out like ready to go, but I walked out cold. I walked down the thing. I see my homegirl from Instagram as one of the judges. Maybe I need to cut that. Then I see a couple of the ring girls that I work with, and I'm like, bro, then I'm looking in the crowd and I'm seeing faces that people I know, and I'm like, oh shoot, like this is for real, for real. And the thing is, it's like in karate tournaments, not the BS little karate tournaments like you guys think it is. I'm talking about the real tournaments. Real tournaments, a street fight, having to bounce, no matter self-defense, whatever. When you realize that the fight is on, something happens. Now, for most people, they get scared and they back out. But us fighters, we just turn it on, and it just something in our brain just starts mixing, and it's like, yes, an opportunity. And so I think my song was "Break Every Chain, There Is Power in the Name of Jesus." Just that little, I don't know, I wanted to come out and just feel that in my spirit. And, you know, I walked to the wrong corner. Gosh. And then dude comes out and everybody's screaming and hollering because, you know, he's an Oklahoma boy. Respect though, you know, he's a cool guy. Shout out to Marcel. Comes out. The ref says ready. He says ready. So, ding ding, it's time to fight. The moment y'all been waiting for. It's time to fight. And if any who have seen the video, I was thinking about putting the video in here, but I just don't know where I can find it. But anyway, we come out, touch gloves, boom. We start going back, and when I walked to the center, the whole thing for me was get to the center and hold the center, like Conan told me. So I got to the center. Ooh, excuse me. Marcel threw a kick, and I checked it, and I answered immediately back. And I mean, I kicked him hard. Like, I was trying to let him know, I was like, your kick didn't do jack to me, but I kicked him hard. And so where he was standing, he went over, because of the kick, he went over, but here's where I messed up. After kicking him, bam, I threw that round kick, it landed, and I brought it back, and then I took a step back, just like in karate. After you land your point, you know, you go back. And because of having trained for karate all that year, I did that exact same thing I had been doing. Kick, get back and take a step back. So in doing that, I put myself where I was maybe like 10 foot from the cage. I had now been maybe a foot from the cage. And that was my undoing. Now, that kick might have hurt him. Doesn't matter, because he capitalized on the fact that I was close to the fence and he was gonna make his move, which he did. He threw, I think, one punch, which I blocked, and it hit me around the glove. But I was already, like I said, probably about 6 inches from the cage or the fence or whatever. And he threw that punch so I cover up, and then he got, you know, hold of me, and he threw that knee. Now the knee didn't hurt. Everybody's always like, oh, the knee is what did it. It's like, the knee didn't hurt. I got the bunt end of it. Like, I've seen the picture. The knee's not what hurt me. What got me was the knee to the fence, and then I had no footing. Like, it was just like the way he did it, and I tried to avoid it, and if you move so if somebody punches you and you move your head, it's like you'll get hit, but it won't be as hard. And so when he kneed, I kind of like jumped back too. So it wasn't like all of that force just, breaking my ribs or something. And I hit the fence, but he kept a hold and judo threw me, or hip tossed me to the ground. And from there, he just started raining down punches, bang, 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 bang. And then, like I said, just kept my cover because I was like, I just don't want to get, nose busted. And I really just need to get through this first round. But the issue was my jiu-jitsu defense was good, but my offense was trash. And he's just raining down punches. And the ref, I don't remember how many punches he did. I think I counted because he threw one and then he just kept throwing them, and I was trying to figure out like, how do I get my legs I don't know what I was really thinking, but the ref was telling me, she's like, hey, I'm gonna call this fight if you don't move. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure something out. Literally, she's talking to me. I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out, hold on. And then they called it. And that's how I lost my title fight. Oh, man. It is what it is. Trust me, I got up and the ref was saying whatever, and Marcel's like, yo, shout out to my family from St. Louis. And I'm like, dog, you from St. Louis? Like, me too. What part are you from? And we end up talking and stuff. Dude's pretty cool. Shout out. I don't know what he's doing now, but he's a great fighter. Y'all should follow him. But yeah, Blackie Chan versus the Black Lumberjack. Took a L. It's all good. What's next? Why has it been 2 years? It's been 2 years. Afterwards, man, my body was just trashed. I ended up getting into an altercation after work one night that tweaked my back pretty bad. It was a guy. It actually went viral. I guess whatever viral is. It was on Barstool. Is that what that page is? Barstool Sports or something like that. But anyway, oh no. It was Oldro. It was on Oldro because it was the college page. But anyway, bro and his girl were just like getting it on, like with their clothes on, and I had to throw him out. Anyway, he ends up talking trash and like spit on me, threw his drink on me, and I bounced him. And dude is a big guy. And so it took me and a couple of my other bouncers to, get him out. And so he falls on the floor, and this is where the video starts. He's on the floor. He grabs a chair and acts like he's going to hit, or I guess he was going to hit me with it. I stop it. He grabs my leg with the underhook. I drop my elbow. And we're pulling him out, and he's shaking and kicking, and 6 of us, we drop him, we get him to the door. And once we get to the door, we get him out, and I'm about to go, and he grabs my shoulder. Y'all seen that? Y'all seen that when they grab the shoulder, and but if you practice that and you know what you're doing, that could work. And I, do that, slip his foot, get him down, sprawl him out, and he's trying to wrestle me. And something in that sprawl, I don't know what I did, but that just, that KO'd me, bro. And after that night, I went home, took my CBD, laid down, and I was just like, dang, my body hurts, my back. That just, I don't know what I did, but hoo-wee. And yeah, that just, after that, I said, I'm gonna take a break. And I did. And then that break was like 3 months, and I worked in a milk factory. And then it was 6 months, and I was moving back to Texas. And it was 9 months, and it was a year. And the time has just gone on and on and on. And I just end up 2 years later, now wanting to fight again. I never meant for it to be this long. I literally was only going to take a couple months off, just so my body could heal. I could stack my money, come back out there, represent, James White Fitness, and I'm saying, my boy Scary Harry Santos, Luis, just a few of the guys that are out there, Preston Snook, just all the guys. I miss you guys so much, man. Shout out to everybody over at Conan, David, all my homegirls over there, Tiffany, Amy, doing your thing. Which, shout out to the little kid, congratulations to y'all. Yeah, I never meant to take this long of a break. That just never was the plan. But here recently, I started watching this show called Kingdom, and the itch comes back, and every fighter knows, like, if you're not fighting, you don't feel right. And I haven't fought in so long, and it's just something hasn't been feeling right now. Here's the other thing in this: I got these idiots that live out here that they've been saying this, that, and the other thing. Oh, I lost all my fights, and I'm like, what? I lost one. I lost my title fight. That ain't all my fights. I lost one fight, and you know how people are. You lose one time, and then they just try to whatever. And I'm like, man, y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea what it is to be a fighter. Y'all have no idea what it is to be out here for real. And I've tried to come to terms with them. I've tried to say, hey, let's squash this. Let's put the gloves on. I've said, like, hey, let's meet up. Let's throw hands if that's really what y'all about. But internet people ain't really about that. So I've let that go. Unless y'all want it, just let me know. But no, honestly, my life is so much different now that I'm a dad, a stepdad, and now going to be a husband. Whole thing now is that I'm fighting again because I have something to fight for. I think that was one thing too, is just I was just fighting back then just cause, like, the year before I had something to work for. The Olympics, I was working towards that, and I had to go through a lot of tournaments and a lot of BS and politics in the karate world in order to get to that point. But when it came to my title fight, I didn't really, I was fighting for a title, but like I have to have something that was like meaningful behind it, and I didn't. But this time that I'm gonna be fighting on February 13th, it's the day after my grandfather had passed. It's been 4 years now, and I have my family. The wedding's coming up, and just different things. And there's been some things that I can attach to this, and it's this time training. This time, I'm hitting a lot harder. I'm kicking a lot faster. I'm dropping the weight tremendously. It's been great. It hasn't felt like I feel no. It's been a good little training, and I'm ready for this. I got maybe 2 more amateur fights, and then I'm going pro, y'all. So that's because I lost, my title fight. Don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing at all. There'll be other title shots if that's something that ever comes up. But honestly, I'm just not worried about titles. In a relationship, you can't really worry about titles. You just gotta do what you need to be doing. And with my relationship with karate and combat sports and all that, it's just that I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight. Now I'm going to say this. Don't talk it if you can't back it up. Simple as that. To all my haters, thank you. Continue to hate. Continue to make me great. Continue to make my name known. That's all I got to say about that. I love what I do. I love why I do it, and I love the people I do it for. And my whole purpose in life It's not to appease men. It's not to please, you. It's not to please even me. I live for a higher calling, and I feel like, God has put in my life to be able to learn how to do certain things and do certain things and do them well. Fighting just happens to be one of them. So, yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna try to keep y'all on this journey with me as I continue to, fight, as I continue to train, as I continue to do music, family life, different things like that. I know videos have been few and far in between. It's just, I don't know. I get on it, I try to upload these videos, and then my internet don't let me upload stuff, and it's like 3 days after the stuff happens, and then I just like, y'all probably won't even care no more. I don't know. But hope y'all enjoy this little interview. But yeah, it's on. February 13th, I think, is the date. I'm still waiting for the promoter to message me, tell me he got me somebody. It's a smoker, so it's just kind of like a thrown together fight thing, which is, but yeah, just get a couple more of these out the way, and then it's pro time, baby. Woo! Also, I need to drink this. So hope y'all have a blessed day. It's Chan. You know what I'm saying? I know this is my life, man. It's kind of crazy, but it's good because God is good. Peace out.